right. First off, I want everyone to try to go get Patrick Mahomes. Last year, you have to remember, he scored at least 25 points in 9 games. This year, he's struggling. Week 1, he only scored 19 points. Then he got 23, 25. Then he only got 15 points, 19. And then on Thursday, he only had 17. So I've actually been getting a lot of messages from Patrick's fantasy owners panicking, trying to sell Mahomes. In 6 games, Mahomes only has 11 touchdowns. So that's why people are freaking out. Last year in 6 games, he had 16 touchdowns. It's usually impossible to trade for him. But right now, this year, we have an opportunity to go grab him. And he's going to go off next week. He's going to score like 4 touchdowns against the Chargers next week. Then he gets to play the Broncos. So he has a pretty easy schedule coming up. Now, I also want to give you an interesting stat. There's 3 teams tied for first that average the most passing attempts per game. The Vikings are 40 attempts a game. The Rams are 40 a game. And the third team, okay, if you can guess the third team, I'll Venmo you $10. But you got to like and subscribe to qualify. And you got to answer it right now. All right. Well, I'm going to tell you, okay, it's the Panthers. Nobody would have guessed that. Now, the reason why the Panthers are doing so well throwing is because Adam Thielen. No, I don't know why Adam Thielen is doing so good. But he is doing good. I don't know why, but you might want to sell him high because I don't think that's going to last very long. Now, sell Adam Thielen. This is a good waiver wire to pick up. Jonathan Mingo. He's available in most leagues right now. You know the great Steve Smith Panthers wide receiver? He loves Mingo. He was calling Mingo a running back that happens to play wide receiver. So that guy has pretty good potential when it comes to run after the catch. He's a rookie. So this is around the time of year when rookie wide receivers start going off. You remember Jamar Chase, his rookie year? In week 5, he went off for 160 yards. And then week 7, he had 200 receiving yards. So these rookies start learning more advanced routes as the season goes on, and their quarterback starts trusting them more and more. Also, that's why you should go trade for Zay Flowers. Beginning of the season, he's been running the simple short drag routes, and he's getting a ton of targets. And now he took over as the number 1 receiver over Odell Beckham and Bateman. He hasn't done anything. So Flowers is going to be the guy. He's going to start running deeper routes for the Ravens. Now, another good trade target is Gabe Davis. He's ranked the 15th best fantasy receiver, but you can steal him, and he's only going to get better throughout the season. That's a pretty good buy low target for you to go grab. Now, we got a question about the Dallas Cowboys. Should I trade CD for A.J. Brown? Absolutely. I always thought CD was going too high in the draft. A.J. Brown, he's a true number 1 wide receiver. And CD, he just shows flashes of a number 1, but he's not consistent. Also, under Kellen Moore, last year the Dallas Cowboys were first in total offense. Now they're 28th. That's a huge difference. Also, Tony Pollard, he used to be that guy that could make defenders miss and he'd take it to the house, but I just don't see that burst anymore, unfortunately, after his injury. All right, see if we have any more questions here. Should I trade Stevenson for Dameon Pierce? I would take Pierce for sure. The Patriots suck bad right now. People are actually speculating that Bill Belichick might get fired midseason. That's how bad the Patriots are doing. Also, the Texans' offensive line is getting healthier every week. Dameon Pierce is starting to get around 20 carries a game. The beginning of the season, he was in the teens. So I would definitely get Dameon Pierce. All right, someone wants to know, sell Derrick Henry for Travis Etienne. Yeah, I'd take Travis Etienne. Sell the name Derrick Henry while it still has value. Titans are bad, they're boring, and they create very little scoring opportunities for Henry. So Etienne, he owns that backfield. So you always want to get running backs that own the backfield, like Joe Mixon. He gets 100% of carries, especially in the red zone. So ETN, Mixon, those are guys you want to grab. Speaking of the Jags, go trade for Ridley. You might have to buy him high, but he's worth it. Ridley looks really good on film. He's a great route runner. Trevor Lawrence is playing great. So the Jags are only going to get better. So you want to get a piece of the Jags offense. Next question, should I drop Rashee Rice? No, he's a rookie. He's doing better every week. He had like 75 yards on Thursday. He's only going to get better. His role is only going to grow over the course of the season. He's better than Sky Moore, so eventually they'll just bench Sky Moore and give Rashee more opportunities. Now, should you start Josh Jacobs over James Cook? Cook has to compete against Harris and Murray, so I'm going Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs looked pretty good on tape last week. He's pretty explosive. Sell Saquon Barkley? No, don't sell Saquon Barkley. He's the whole Giants offense. Actually, in week 2, he had like 27 fantasy points against the Cardinals, and then he got hurt. But he catches the ball out of the backfield. He gets all the rushes. Also, the Giants, their season's pretty much over. They might actually trade Saquon, so he might have a better opportunity, in the second half of the season. So you want to hold on to Saquon. I actually see him as a buy low target. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Answered some questions. I would suggest you pick up Chuba Hubbard off waivers. Zach Ertz isn't a bad option, tight end. Also, Taysom Hill. Juwan Johnson, he's out. So Taysom Hill, he's a pretty good tight end target. He runs the ball, he throws the ball, and he's a tight end. So he steals touchdowns from Kamara. So, yeah, he's not a bad guy to pick up. Last thing I want to suggest is trade for Deontay Johnson because he's coming back week 7. And he's a pretty good receiver. Kenny Pickett is starting to move that offense around. So try and buy Deontay Johnson low, too. All right, guys, have a good weekend.